Threat and the severe weather watch. The ominous skies right now over Texas. The storm zone on the move, stretching all the way to Kentucky. 40 million people in the path. Also tonight, President Trump doubling down. His harsh message to migrants, even mocking asylum seekers, saying, quote, "Our country is full." Live wire collapse, the stunning scene and mystery behind it. 2 people trapped inside tangled live wires. Down power lines, damage for a mile. Church arsonist, the historic African-American churches destroyed by fire, 3 in 10 days, in the middle of the night. Officials calling them very suspicious. Actor road rage arrest, the TV star in Miami, seen punching a driver, then leaving the scene. That victim unconscious. Days later, passing away. Paris explosion, the fire, and then the blast. In an apartment building, hundreds of people forced to evacuate. And refusing to surrender, the wild police chase that became a demolition derby. How the driver in that stolen pickup truck got away.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Tom Llamas. And we begin with the severe storms moving across parts of the South tonight and the tornado threat all weekend long. Dark skies moving across that state. You see it right there. This massive supercell seen near the city of Calvert. Rain and strong winds at the leading edge of the storm, and there is more severe weather on the way. 40 million people in the zone stretching all the way up to Kentucky. ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano is here. And Rob, that threat is out right now.
It is. Matter of fact, this is the second of 3 waves of severe weather, Tom, and there's still a tornado threat. Although for today, we've mostly had big hail and big wind and flooding rains. Austin, you're in a flash flood watch just north of Austin. You've already had 5 inches of rainfall, and you see how those cells really aren't moving. So we have the severe weather threat that's ongoing tonight, slides into parts of southern Arkansas. We've had wind damage as far east as Georgia. And then during the day tomorrow, we get some scooting up towards Louisville. But look at Houston. By 4 p.m., we're looking at the thunderstorms down there that could not only be severe, but could bring some isolated flooding, and the threat for large hail and damaging winds goes all the way up through Louisville through tomorrow afternoon, really into tomorrow night, Tom.
All right, you and your team will be tracking this tornado threat all weekend. Rob, thank you. Let's turn to politics now. President Trump is on a swing through the West. Today, speaking to a welcoming crowd at the Republican Jewish Coalition in Las Vegas. The president recapping his recent visit to the border and his harsh message tonight for refugees trying to come into this country. ABC's Tara Palmieri is at the White House.
Tonight, President Trump doubling down on his new message for would-be asylum seekers. Our country is full.
What can you do? We can't handle it anymore. Our country is full. Can't come in. I'm sorry. It's very simple.
Claiming migrants are abusing the system without any proof.
The asylum program is a scam. Some of the roughest people you've ever seen. People that look like they should be fighting for the UFC.
The president in Las Vegas speaking to the Republican Jewish Coalition, pretending to be an asylum seeker receiving guidance from an attorney.
I am very worried that I will be accosted. If I was sent back home, no, he'll do the accosting. Asylum. Oh, give him asylum. He's afraid. He's afraid.
Friday, the president was at the U.S.-Mexico border, touring new construction.
It's a great wall, and I think it looks fantastic.
The 2-mile strip of 30-foot steel slats is not new wall, but rather a long-planned replacement of 14-foot fencing. That trip coming just 1 week after he threatened to close the southern border completely amid a surge of migrant crossings. 76,000 migrants stopped at the border in February, 40,000 of those families. And federal officials estimate the figures for March will be even higher, with an estimated 95,000 migrants apprehended.
I have to say, I said I was going to close the border. It's gotten so bad. I said, we're closing the border. And as soon as I said that, and I really thanked the president of Mexico, because they stepped up.
The president praising Mexico for stepping up at their own border. A Mexican official says the country's policy has not changed.
Tara Palmieri is at the White House for us tonight. And Tara, the president, though, is still threatening to close the border with Mexico.
Tom, President Trump said he'll give Mexico 1 year to stop the flow of migrants. He said he'd rather use car tariffs as a way to put pressure on the country. And this is as he tries to seal a new trade deal with Mexico that would replace NAFTA. He told Fox News that he's willing to include the car tariffs in the trade deal if the migration problems don't end. Tom?
Tara Palmieri for us at the White House tonight. Tara, thank you. And be sure to watch This Week tomorrow morning. Will Congress get a look at the president's tax returns? George will go one-on-one with Trump legal team member Jay Sekulow and host the Powerhouse Roundtable. And we have new reporting tonight on how the hunt for a missing 15-year-old Louisiana girl came to an end. She's believed to have run off with a 47-year-old man who had become a family friend. It was a tip from the FBI that located them more than 1,000 miles away, and tonight he's in custody. Here's ABC's Marcy Gonzalez.
Tonight, this 15-year-old girl will soon be reunited with her family, rescued, according to the FBI, more than a week after disappearing with her 47-year-old neighbor.
I do believe he did brainwash her. He probably has her believing that she's safe with him, that she's like madly in love with him.
Domiana Spell and Corey Shane Disotell finally found in Colorado, more than 1,000 miles from the Louisiana school bus stop where they were last seen. The Archuleta County Sheriff's Office alerted by the FBI Friday after they say Disotell's cell phone pinged nearby. Deputies spotting his car, following it to the parking lot of a grocery store, and confronting Spell and Disotell.
We want her to know that, we're on her side.
Spell's family says before the pair ran away together, they alerted police about the alleged relationship between the girl and her parents' friend, finding concerning text messages from the divorced father of 3.
He told her that he loved her and stuff like that.
Now relieved, he is behind bars. And Disotell is being held in Colorado on a warrant for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Police say the investigation is still far from over and more charges could still be filed. Tom?
Marcy, thank you. Next tonight, the strange sight in suburban Seattle. More than a dozen power poles, look at that, falling like dominoes, leaving a tangled mess of live wires and trapping 2 people in their shattered car. ABC's Maggie Rulli on the dangerous rescue and now the investigation into why those poles came down.
Tonight, investigators want to know what caused this utility pole to come crashing down onto this car, pinning 2 people inside and triggering a terrifying domino effect.
It was so surreal, and then it was one after another after another.
All I heard was this loud boom crashing, and then power lines are falling.
The first calls coming in around just before 4 Friday afternoon.
Wires down. They have about 15 poles down.
More than a dozen utility poles and downed wires blocking a mile-long stretch on this busy Seattle roadway, wiping out power for more than 1,600 customers. Rescue workers racing to free the passengers trapped by live wires, one taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Stunned families and children at a nearby museum evacuating through a dangerous maze of fallen wires.
We're very lucky that we didn't have more serious injuries, too, with the number of cars on the road.
Tom, officials say the power is now restored and the road will be reopened by this evening. Now, many of the poles along this stretch of road were checked and replaced within the past 5 years. They're supposed to last more than 50. Tom?
And the cause still under investigation. All right, Maggie, thank you. Next to the string of fires in African-American churches in St. Landry Parish, Louisiana. 3 historic churches destroyed in 10 days, and officials are calling them very suspicious. The FBI has now joined the investigation into the cause and the motive, but local pastors there say there are similarities among all 3 fires. Here's ABC's Zachary Quiche.
Tonight, a community rattled. 3 church fires in just 10 days, all in the same Louisiana parish. The fires, being investigated as possible arson, have targeted African-American Baptist churches. Local fire marshals and federal authorities responding after the most recent inferno at Mount Pleasant Baptist Church. The flames tearing through the 100-year-old house of worship. Tonight, the state's fire marshal telling ABC News they are classifying the St. Landry Parish fires as suspicious.
There are absolutely suspicious elements that have led us to believe that this is a crime.
Officials say they've discovered several common patterns with 2 other church fires. After seeing St. Mary's Baptist burned to the ground, the pastor remains rooted in the support of faith and family.
What's done in the dark will come to the light.
Police have added extra security and patrols to protect the parish's churches, and tonight, the sheriff issuing a stern warning.
To the person that is doing this to these churches, I will say, get ready. We're going to put the cuffs on you.
In light of these fires, which have been so devastating, Tom, a number of churches are investing in security and surveillance and encouraging other potential targets to do the same. Tom?
3 churches in 10 days. All right, Zachary, thank you. Next, the deadly road rage caught on surveillance video. A TV star on his way to the Miami airport delivering a single punch to the driver of another car and then leaving the scene. The 63-year-old victim never regained consciousness, 4 days later passing away. ABC's Diane Macedo with the video, and we want to warn you, some of these images are disturbing.
Tonight, this surveillance video showing the moment police say a road rage incident involving a soap opera star ultimately turned deadly. Miami police say 32-year-old actor Pablo Lyle was in the passenger seat of this red SUV last weekend when the vehicle appears to cut off a blue car driven by 63-year-old Juan Ricardo Hernandez. Stopped at a red light, you can see Hernandez get out of his car and approach the SUV's driver, who also gets out of his vehicle. The two exchange words until the driver realizes the SUV, full of family members, is rolling away. As the driver runs back to the SUV, witnesses told police they saw the actor get out of the passenger side, run toward Hernandez, and punch him, knocking him to the ground with one hit. Lyle then gets back in the SUV, which makes a U-turn, leaving the scene with Hernandez still lying in the street. Several days later, Hernandez died at the hospital. Watching the video, Hernandez's stepdaughter says he already had his back turned to get into his car and didn't deserve to get punched. But court documents show Lyle told police he exited the vehicle and confronted the victim to protect his family. Hernandez's stepdaughter is now calling for Lyle to receive maximum prison time. Lyle has pleaded not guilty to a battery charge, but police say more charges could be coming. A hearing in the case is set for Monday. Tom?
Diane, thank you. And an update tonight in a story we have been following all week. There is some encouraging news tonight in the effort to free an American tourist taken hostage by a gunman in a national park in Uganda. Negotiations are underway, but they're reportedly at a very sensitive stage. ABC's Ian Pannell with the latest tonight.
Tonight, U.S. officials tell ABC News FBI negotiators are now actively involved in attempts to secure the release of an American tourist and her driver kidnapped in Uganda. Sources now saying there's progress in the negotiations to free them. Kimberly Sue Endicott, seen here documenting her Ugandan safari, and her tour guide, Jean-Paul Merengue Remezo, were both abducted Tuesday at gunpoint by four men dressed in military uniform in Queen Elizabeth National Park, demanding a $500,000 ransom. Today, we went to the very area where both were abducted. It's located on a vast savanna, teeming with incredible wildlife.
One of the theories is that the pair were smuggled across the border. And look how close it is. That is the Democratic Republic of Congo. This is Uganda. But for now, the focus of the investigation is on this side of the riverbank.
A military helicopter scouring the site along with police trying to find the pair. This as Endicott's cousin pleads for the US government to do more, telling the Associated Press, "I heard our Secretary of State get on there and say we don't pay ransom." OK, fine. Then get the Navy SEALs, get them on a plane and go save her. The Minister of Tourism now trying to reassure the families of the missing, as well as tourists still here.
They want to assure you we will not leave any stone unturned until this situation is corrected.
After 5 anxious days, this is now a critical juncture. But if they aren't released soon, there are going to be some serious questions about the current negotiating strategy to get them out. Tom?
Ian Pannell reporting from Uganda tonight for us. Ian, thank you. And there is much more ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday. Refusing to surrender, the wild chase, police in hot pursuit, slammed from all sides, and how that dangerous driver actually got away. Breaking overseas, the massive blast rocking central Paris, tearing through the boulevard and moving fast. And 2 rescues from the sky. A woman tumbling into a deep canyon trapped, and the moments of panic when a woman's 90-year-old mother goes missing. How drones may have made the difference between life and death in both these rescues. Stay with us.
I'm working to keep the fire going for another 150 years.
To inspire confidence through style.
I'm working to make connections of a different kind.
I'm working for beauty that begins with nature.
To treat every car like I treat mine.
At ADP, we're designing a better way to work so you can achieve what you're working for.
It's been a long time since Andy dusted off his dancing shoes. Luckily, Denture Breath will be the least of his worries because he uses Polident 4-in-1 cleaning system.